Hello, my flock. We are here today with ship art of Arcturus Mesothin and Paige Mahoney. Now, I know y'all don't know who these are, but just know they are my babies, and I love them very much. True OGs remember the times when I would just draw random ship art, and that was like a lot of my content, but I have not drawn kissing, like actual kissing. They would just like look into their eyes longingly because I was afraid to draw kissing. And it has been a very long time since I've drawn ship art, actually. I can't remember when the last time was. I might put a little thing on the screen to show y'all, but it's been a while, at least I know. And I guess that's made a comeback. I kind of want to get better at drawing kissing because I'm not satisfied with the result, but then again, I'm being easy on myself because this is the first time I've drawn real kissing, I believe. If I drew real kissing, it was before I had the channel. So at least, I'm coming up on 4 years. This channel is 3.5 years old. That's kind of crazy. Remember when this used to be a Warrior Cats channel? Anyways. So yeah, I drew Arcturus and Paige kissing. Unfortunately, they don't do it that much because they have a whole will they won't they thing, at least for the first 4 books. 4 books of will they won't they. Sure is. It's slow burn enemies to lovers. Well, they were never really enemies. They just like found each other incredibly annoying, and Paige didn't like him. But I would not say that they're enemies because Arcturus was really looking out for her, okay? But I very much love them, okay? I got my cousin into this series, and like he's surpassed me. He's ahead of me now, which is crazy, but I am a very slow reader. Only reading Warrior Cats for several years really set me back, and now I'm in the French part, because the 4th book, Mask Falling, you would be hard-pressed to find a chapter that does not have some French in it. And the French, I swear to God, the French slow me down. I'm questioning if I'm dyslexic because of this book. What the hell? But so far, it's pretty good. Okay. Paige has given me raised blood pressure several times, and she's probably also given Arcturus raised blood pressure. If the Rephium have blood pressure, I don't know, but I very much love the Bone season despite not being done with it. The author's not done with it. We're gonna get the 6th book in February, I believe, and there's going to be 7 books total. Well, I guess technically there's going to be 9 because there's 2 prequels, but it's whatever. I'm very much into the series. I bought it on a whim. I knew the author from Priory of the Orange Tree, which is also pretty good. I prefer the Bone season. I guess I just prefer the way that it's written over Priory of the Orange Tree. But I recognized the author in a Walmart, and I thought the cover was pretty. So I was like, this is nice. Mom, can I buy this? Because my mom is always checking. Well, she doesn't do this as much anymore. But my mom would always like check my books. So I was like, Mom, can I get this? And part of the reason why I wanted to get this is because I was hoping for gay, and I did get my gay, which I will get to, but I was like, Mom, can I get this? Because I was like a 9th grader at the time. I was a 9th grader reading the Bone season. 9th grader, well actually, I think it's probably a higher reading level than the 9th grade if I had to guess. But, like, yeah, but you know what? No, I'll give it to it. 9th graders can read the Bone season. But it's really more of a young adult book. But my mom looked through it, Googled it, found that there were no gays and no sex. which the latter is true, the former is not true at all. There are gays in this book. And I was allowed to buy the Bone season, and I read it. And I was like, huh, that's nice. And I put it down for a few years. And then I read it again. And then I was like, this is peak. And then I read the Mime Order, which was also peak. And then I love this book series so much. And I still haven't gotten to the part where it's like what's written is over. At the rate I'm going, I'll probably finish The Dark Mirror after The Moth Reborn comes out, which both sucks and is beautiful. As I was saying, there are gays in this book. We advertise 2 gay men, 2 asexuals, a bunch of people who do not care about gender, a pair of lesbians, technically, a trans woman, and I think that's about it. But I think that's a pretty good set, and I'm not even done with the series. Okay, I'm not even to the point. I still have half of the French book and The Dark Mirror to get through that I have not gotten through yet because the French is slowing me down, and also I'm a slow reader because I read so much Warrior Cats as a kid. I genuinely think that like, only reading that has slowed down my ability to comprehend what I read, but I'm not gonna complain because I very much love Warrior Cats, and Warrior Cats has led me to have this lovely YouTube channel where I yap, okay? Now, this piece was originally meant to be a redraw of a movie poster I saw when I was in Montana, but I gave up on that halfway through because it was already hard enough and I didn't want to do that angle. And also, drawing kissing is very, very hard. So, yeah, that's why that is a reference image. Yeah, I've never even seen the original movie. I might come back to this in a few months and redraw it because I feel like I can do better. But again, first time drawing kissing, so yeah, you know. Anyways, thank you for listening to me yap. I really, really appreciate it. If you are my Tumblr mutual who strayed onto my YouTube to support my YouTube endeavors, I really appreciate it. Thank you to the Bone Season fandom on Tumblr. If you guys weren't around, I would not have finished this and I would have given up, but I wanted to contribute to the Bone Season fandom on Tumblr. So anyways, I will see y'all in the next one. Goodbye!